Carl Sagan's book, Contact, was one of the very few books on the shelf where I grew up. And he says in that book, your religion assumes that people are children and need a boogeyman so they'll behave. You want people to believe in God so they'll obey the law. That's the only means that occurs to you, a strict secular police force and the threat of punishment by an all-seeing God for whatever the police overlook. You sell human beings short. I love Carl Sagan, truly, and he was so right about all of this when it comes to religion as a fear-based control mechanism. And it is also apparent, in the context of this quote only, that Carl had no conception of grace. Jesus, Yeshua, is the archetypal Son of God who came to release us from the boogeyman and the punishment of law-based religion. Thank you, Carl Sagan, for helping us to get the picture of the pale blue dot from Voyager, and thank you for helping us to explore the mind-boggling expanse of deep time and all the cosmos. And, my old friend Carl, the stories that we tell, religion is archetypal story, are not separate from our biological progression. That's what I came to understand at some point. I was like, oh my God, stories are not separate from biology. Stories are not separate from how we're coming to understand ourselves scientifically. If we think we're transcending stories, we're fooling ourselves. Jessamine West, she said that fiction reveals truth that reality obscures. And this has very much for me to do with Joseph Campbell's work about myth. Myth are the stories that relay to us the deepest truths. Also, myths are the falsities that we tell ourselves, and myth can be both, and we must discern the truth in the midst of our myths. And then we must come to understand the stories that we're telling about ourselves, and we must come to discern truth for ourselves. And truth is not always represented most accurately in fact. And that is one of the great mysteries of life. And that is why we say, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him. And Jesus is the one who came to set us free from the law and the boogeyman and punishment. And it's a beautiful story of how that happens through the story which we as human beings understand the most, which is a story of sacrifice. We cannot understand love on a deeper level than one who will give their lives for us. And so that's why we say that Jesus is the Son of God, is because he showed us how to die, how to be cruelly punished, and even in that, not give up our love. He showed us how to hang on a cross without becoming a victim, and then to be resurrected. And that's why I say that's the truest story, because as we are committed to this really painful life of suffering sometimes, which just seems to be how the world is. We're going to be misunderstood sometimes, we're going to be misoverlooked, and the key to life lies in how we respond to being misunderstood and overlooked and ignored and shit-listed and scapegoat and demonized. Oh my God. And so in that story is the truth. So in order to do that, in order to bear that cross, we must know that we are seated with Christ in heavenly places. So, God, thank you for Carl Sagan. And thanks that book was on my shelf at home. And thanks for all the faces that are saying something. And we never get it all right, do we? And I think that's beautiful. Love your enemies. Pray for those who hurt you. Bless those who curse you. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love you, Carl. Thanks. Bye-bye.